and thereafter we'll see the president enter the chamber for the address. And so, like we mentioned earlier, we were just going through the speech, the presidential speech that was delivered last year, and we were looking at some values and principles that are outlined in the Constitution. We looked at morality and ethics, and under that, cases of gender-based violence in the country remain high. The President did state, and that he did say that this actually affects lives, and dreams are shattered of very young people, and therefore government is implementing the National Gender Policy and strengthening enforcement of the Anti-Gender Based Violence Act to reduce incidences of the vice. And government has continued to support victims of GBV through provision of counseling, service, legal aid, and safe spaces. And these are some of the issues that were brought out from some members of the public, that we talked about. We keep on talking about, these issues year in and year out, and I'm sure there's need for stiffer punishment to deter, people from, engaging in such horrible vices.
Yeah, Claudette, something that really strikes me is if someone is, going through GBV, then they decide to keep quiet. Why are you keeping quiet? Today you go through GBV, you keep quiet. Next time it happens, you still keep quiet. So it was in that line, actually, that the president said, urged everyone to report cases of GBV. And another thing, Claudette, that he talked about, earlier on I was talking about scammers, but the president did say that the government was actually creating a safer online environment by strengthening legislation, which you rightly talked about, and the government would not actually relent in its efforts to restore sanity in the digital space, as it was for the good stability of the country. So another another value and principle is patriotism and national unity. What did you talk about last year? Yeah, so on patriotism and national unity, he did actually say that, they play a pivotal role in shaping and nurturing a strong nation. And he did indicate actually that the key factors in fostering national development, which helps in achieving our collective aspirations as a people. One thing that really pops out when I listen to, or when I hear national unity, is something that he talked about, the national symbols. And these national symbols that the president actually talked about included the national flag. As a patriotic Zambian, are we proud enough, to just lift the national flag, just display the Zambian colors? Another symbol was the national anthem. National anthem, how do we sing it? How do you sing it as, as a citizen? So those are just some of the symbols: the national flag, the national anthem, the national motto, and the public seal. And Claudette, one Zambia, one nation. I remember the president added something else. Was it one people?
One people, should be one people.
Yeah, so it was one Zambia, one nation, one people.
Okay. And under human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination, President did say that government remains actually committed to upholding human dignity, equity, social justice, and non-discrimination. And these principles, according to the President, he did say that they are fundamental in fostering peace, unity, and socio-economic development in the country. And so, if you've seen across the country, a number of schools have been constructed just to ensure equity, to enable, give a chance to each and every person at least to attend school, to, get an education. Health facilities are being constructed, maternity annexes, police posts and feeder roads are also being rehabilitated, and market shelters, talk of, crossing points, deep tanks, water points, and sanitation facilities. Financial development that is being in action, just to ensure that people have a share of good shelter, good sanitation, for instance, and that falls under human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination.
Still on that, Claudette, I think last year the president actually did say that the free education policy is bearing fruit. And this was actually seen when there was a lady, a 42-year-old lady from Solwezi, if I remember her name, I think Dorothy Kamisha. She was from Solwezi and had gone back to school in grade 9. That is, that is a good thing. Education is an equalizer, and so the president was actually did proudly indicate that the free education policy was bearing fruit.
Absolutely. So on good governance and integrity, the president did say that the citizens are increasingly expecting immediate access to services, and citizens are also expecting transparency and direct engagement with the government. And so government did launch the Citizen Support Service Portal, and the portal is fostering real-time engagement between citizens and the government. And there's been an increase in electronic services available on the government service bus from 300 in 2023 to 321 in 2024, and the increase has made access to improving efficiency in delivering public service.
And then another thing that the president talks about was sustainable development, saying that the government's pursuit of economic prosperity, sustained development was indeed an important imperative, and that this was even more critical in the wake of the devastating impact of climate change, saying that climate change has threatened the national food, energy, water security, as well as biodiversity, and that climate change has disrupted the development efforts and highly contributed to the increased cost of living. So those are some of the things that the president talked about, and I hope that that you'll still be with us to get to listen to more things that he is going to talk about this year. But in case you've just tuned into Parliament TV, we appreciate your viewership. Thank you very much for choosing the station that is indeed dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. So my colleague Claudette and I are just giving you a summary of some of the things that the president talked about last year when he delivered his speech, of course, just informing the House and the nation on the progress made in the application of national values and principles.
All right, so in case you've just tuned in, the president is already here at Parliament buildings. That's him in the Speaker's chamber, exchanging one or two words, and thereafter he's going to sign in the visitor's book and then make his way into the chamber. So he's expected to start addressing the nation and the House at 9:45 hours, and so business has been suspended until the president enters the chamber and gets to address the House and the nation at about 9:45. And so the Constitution under Article 8 outlines the national values and principles as morality and ethics, patriotism and national unity, democracy and constitutionalism, human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, non-discrimination, good governance and integrity, and sustainable development. So the president has just signed in the visitor's book. We wish we could all see what he has actually written in that book, but yeah,
we can only leave that to our imagination.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what has happened so far, and maybe just we've talked about what happened, what he said on the floor of the House last year. But in concluding, the president did actually say that the journey is far from complete, and the progress the government has made is part of the foundation upon which it must build a better Zambia, and this foundation upon which peace, unity and prosperity must forever be anchored, and that the journey requires determination, passion, courage, with focus, and with focus, he did say we definitely are going to get there. So peace, unity and prosperity must forever be anchored, and that with focus the country will get there. So that is just in summary what the president did say last year when he addressed the House and indeed the nation on the progress made in the application of national values and principles.
And so in a few minutes from now, we do expect the president to come through to the chamber. Of course, accompanied by the Speaker and being led by the Sergeant at Arms. And so business has been temporarily suspended until they address various stakeholders, invited guests, that is, members of the diplomatic corps, members of some political parties, some non-government organizations are here to listen to the presidential address. I know a number of people have their expectations regarding the address, and immediately after the address we'll get reactions from some invited guests and some members of parliament, just to hear what they'll have to say regarding the address by the president, to hear if their expectations are going to be actually addressed during this particular address. So you can always join us after the address just to get reactions from some members of parliament and of course some invited guests. So in a few minutes from now we expect the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to address the nation and the House on the progress made in the application of national values and principles.
Okay, so on our screen there we see MPs patiently waiting for 0945 hours when His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia makes his entrance into the chamber to, of course, deliver the speech that many of us, I'm sure, are waiting to listen to, just to listen to the contents of that speech. So as Claudette did indicate, this is one of the very important days in the national calendar, and of course apart from this day when the president comes here, another day is when the president officially opens parliament at 9:45. We expect him to address the House and indeed the nation. If you've just tuned into Parliament TV, we're saying welcome. This is the place to be. This is the place to be. Watch parliamentary deliberations as we bring Parliament closer to you. We always say you can follow us on Parliament TV on DSTV channel 272, not forgetting on GoTV channel 28 on Topstar. You can catch us on channel 05. We also have social media platforms, Claudette. Yes, indeed, we have our Facebook page, National Assembly of Zambia Facebook page, and the YouTube channel. Hey? So it's a National Assembly of Zambia, the YouTube channel. But as we always say, we, as the National Assembly of Zambia, we also have, the radio. So you can also follow the radio and follow deliberations via our website, www.parliament.gov.zm, and of course, many places in the country where you can follow the deliberations on Parliament Radio. Remember, we are here to bring Parliament closer to you.
So in last year's address, as the President concluded his speech, he did say that a Zambia free from discrimination, gender-based violence, teenage pregnancy, corruption, and cyber crimes and bullying is attainable. A prosperous Zambia anchored on our national values and principles is achievable. And so indeed, we can actually, achieve and attain all these if we get to unite and, work together. So we are yet to hear what the President has to say regarding the progress made in, issues such as, gender-based violence, issues of, teenage pregnancy. There are certain provinces that rate high in terms of numbers of girls that get pregnant. So we're to hear what is being done to stop this vice, among many other issues. And so there you have it, the Sergeant at Arms leading the President of the Republic of Zambia and Speaker of the National Assembly into the chamber as the address is about to begin.
Honorable members of Parliament, Mr. President and Madam Speaker.
Achitwamo! Achitwamo! Achitwamo!
We may take our seats.
Achitwamo! Yeah! Achitwamo!
Order, honorable members. Honorable members, the House would like to welcome to the Assembly the President of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. We are honored, Mr. President, to have you in our midst. May I now invite you, Mr. President, to deliver your address. Mr. President.
Madam Speaker, good morning. Yeah. In accordance with Article 9(2) of the Constitution of the Republic of Zambia, we are pleased to join this august House to report on progress made in the application of our national values and principles. Madam Speaker, we take this opportunity to congratulate and welcome the newly elected Member of Parliament for Chawama constituency, Honorable Bright Nondwe, following the by-election held on Thursday, 15th January 2026, which passed without violence in Chawama. We all know Chawama very well, but we're very, very pleased that this by-election took place in the manner it did. We urge the Honourable Member of Parliament to effectively represent the people of Chawama constituency with honour and indeed responsibility. Madam Speaker, during this session, the House was privileged to host His Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, President of the Republic of Ghana, on Thursday, 5th February 2026. In his special address to this House, President Mahama reaffirmed the warm, cordial, and indeed historic bilateral relations that exist between our two countries and peoples over many years, Madam Speaker. President Mahama reminded us that our democracies have been built through sacrifice and resilience anchored on true African values. The visit reaffirmed the spirit of Pan-Africanism as espoused by our founding fathers, Dr. Kenneth David Buchija Kaunda and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Madam Speaker, as a nation, we have continued to embrace our national values and principles, which are specified in the Constitution under Article 8, and these are as follows. 1, morality and ethics. 2, patriotism and national unity. 3, democracy and constitutionalism. 4, human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination. 5, good governance and integrity. And lastly, sustainable development, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, these national values and principles are not just a constitutional requirement for us, but a moral compass that shapes our character and defines our identity as a people. They provide guidance in our policy formulation. Please, Madam Speaker, I want to repeat this. These provide the guidance in our policy formulation and form a bedrock for the implementation of our policies as a nation, without exception. Madam Speaker, we will now proceed to highlight the progress made in the application of our national values and principles, with the recognition that we all have much more work to do ahead of us. We are not ambiguous about that. We are clear. Whatever work we've done, we still have a lot of work to do ahead of us together. Morality and ethics Madam Speaker, Zambia is a peaceful nation, a caring nation, and I must strongly say a Christian nation. Morality and ethics are important values that shape the character of our families, communities, and the nation at large. It is within this moral and ethical context that this government is addressing a number of social vices, such as alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and basically other substance abuse, teenage pregnancies, child marriages, and gender-based violence. To address these vices, Madam Speaker, we have implemented a number of interventions. These include, very important, free education, keeping children longer in school, very, very important, skills training, empowerment initiatives, and nationwide sensitization programs for community members, workers, as well as civic and traditional leaders. Child marriage, teenage pregnancy, and child defilement continue to be serious social challenges in our society, Madam Speaker. No country can realize its potential if its girls and boys are left behind. Miti Kula Empire. Madam Speaker, I'm only saying that our children are the future of our country. I'm not speaking Greek, I'm speaking Zambian. We can all therefore agree that it is time to end child marriages in our communities. Madam Speaker, to address these social ills, government continues to sensitize traditional leaders and their communities, our communities across the country. In addition, thousands of teenager girls who dropped out of school, Madam Speaker, and got married, so to say, are now receiving counseling and are being brought back to school as much as possible, so they can benefit from our free education policy. We do this because we love our children, we care about our children, and we will work tirelessly to ensure that all our young citizens benefit from the opportunities that this government is providing. Madam Speaker, gender-based violence has remained a public concern in our country, in our communities and country. We continue to address this vice through many interventions, including the establishment of a national call center, one-stop centers, and fast-track courts for victims of gender-based violence across the country. We urge victims, Madam Speaker, we urge victims, relatives, and others to report all instances of gender-based violence without fail, because sometimes victims are shy to do so. So communities must come in here. The law must continue to take its course, and perpetrators must be brought to justice without any segregation. All of them. We commend our traditional leaders, the church, and other stakeholders for their support in the fight against these vices. Madam Speaker, we remain deeply concerned with regard to divorce rates in our country. This is not good at all, because families are the foundations of communities and a strong nation. So we're concerned about this. Loving, caring, strong families really must be promoted at all times. Of paramount importance is responsible and strong families who build a strong nation. Madam Speaker, human trafficking continues to be a concern given our geographical location. Yes, we are land-linked, we flipped the coin, but still, we have so many neighbors. And this creates sometimes challenges. To curb this vice, the United Party for National Development, UPND New Dawn administration, has fully operationalized the Department of Anti-Human Trafficking in the Ministry of Home Affairs and Internal Security. The department, in collaboration with other law enforcement agencies, is leading efforts to totally eradicate human trafficking. You all know stories that come through the media, horrible stories, where some of these die in fuel tankers. And this is not right. We must not be the country that allows these things to happen. Madam Speaker, social media has created new opportunities for innovation. Yes, we agree. Entrepreneurship. Yes, we agree. Self-expression. Yes, we agree. And information sharing among our people. Sadly, some of our people are using social media to spread harmful content, fake news. Very sad, Madam Chair. Misinformation, disinformation, and worst of all, hate speech. Worst of all, hate speech. Social media is also being used to commit cyber crimes and harass innocent citizens, including the girl child, women. And it's true, men as well. It's very true. In this regard, Madam Speaker, we continue to reform the legal framework to protect the public from harmful online behavior and cyber crime. Madam Speaker, a crime is a crime, done in physical or through social media. Please, let's remember that. We also call upon citizens to ensure that digital platforms are used responsibly and productively. We continue to be inspired by the online creativity of our innovative and entrepreneurial youth, and we encourage everyone to enjoy the freedoms they have, we have, they have, all of us, responsibly. Responsibly is a key word, Madam Speaker. Businesses and our hard-working and industrious citizens. Government has also strengthened local content policies. You all followed that. In fact, you approved those in this House, and we thank you for that. Last year, we issued statutory instrument number 68 of 2025 on the promotion of local content in the mining sector. After a long and orchestrated negotiation process, we are pleased to say, Madam Speaker, this is now in place. This has created more opportunities for local suppliers to be awarded contracts, which means more jobs and more income for Zambians. Public procurement has also been reformed, Madam Speaker, to give special preference, what we call positive discrimination, to locally produced goods and services, which again means more jobs, more business opportunities, and income for Zambians, and indeed the treasury, because every citizen needs the treasury income to continue expanding. Madam Speaker, to continue the provision of vital services, including nationwide free education, the government depends on effective revenue collection. A responsible, a caring society demands that we all pay our taxes, fair taxes. It is a personal responsibility. It's part of our values. Paying our taxes is an attribute of patriotism and mutual responsibility. Government has modernized and simplified tax administration through digital platforms to make it easier for citizens to meet their tax obligations. When we say tax, we don't mean the tax component only ordinary. We mean levies and all of those issues that we are supposed to pay as responsible citizens. Madam Speaker, under the UPND New Dawn administration, there has been an unprecedented reduction in political violence and cadreism in our country. Chawama is a good example. Chawama. And under our watch, Madam Speaker, there is no room for political violence. There is no room for cadreism, negative cadreism. We're not talking about mobilization and positive cadres. There is no room for lawlessness. There is no room for lawlessness. All of us must take this as a personal responsibility. I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, again, I'm speaking Zambian here, Madam Speaker, to clarify. Let me be clear. No one, and I mean no one, is above the law. No one is above the law. Madam Speaker, this administration has consistently promoted unity in diversity through the principle of one Zambia, one nation, one people. If I may repeat, Madam Speaker, this administration has consistently promoted unity in diversity through the reminders, through consistent messaging that we are one Zambia, one nation, and one people. Yes, and I'm addressing both sides of the House on this one. Our efforts are evident in the decentralization and the equitable distribution of national resources. That's how we walk this messaging. Decentralization, equitable distribution of our national resources to all parts of the country through instruments such as the substantially enhanced Constituents Development Fund across the country as an instrument to walk the talk. A caring and loving Zambian society is one that provides equal opportunities and distributes resources fairly without discrimination. That's very important. On the cultural front, Madam Speaker, we're witnessing a positive development where our Royal Highnesses are increasingly attending each other's traditional ceremonies across the country. They're getting to know each other, something that never happened before, at a person-to-person level. Very important, and this will rub on to communities across the provinces of Zambia. This is an attestation to our unity in diversity approach. Last year, we had the honor to meet with all the traditional leaders, at least almost all of them, at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, near here, as part of our continued efforts to promote national unity in our country. Because these are important building blocks. This is enhancing the mutual understanding and appreciation of our shared and rich cultural heritage. We are, Madam Speaker, indeed, as I said, one Zambia, one nation, one people. We must all remind ourselves of this issue. God is great. Put us together deliberately. He didn't make a mistake. He chose us to be together. And we must respect God's decision and work with each other, support each other. Yes, compete. Compete, yes, within reason. But keep the fabric of a united Zambia. I think that's the message here. Madam Speaker, democracy and constitutionalism. Madam Speaker, to enhance our democracy and promote inclusivity in our governance system, we amended the Constitution. For what purpose, Madam Speaker? To ensure fair and equitable representation of our people across the country. We thank our citizens across the country for making valuable submissions to the Mushavati Constitutional Technical Review Commission or Committee. We also commend this House, Madam Speaker. We commend this House. We commend this House, this gracious House, for successfully passing the bill, Bill 7. We are proud that women, youth, persons living with disabilities, we will now have a great opportunity, guaranteed opportunity, to representation at all levels of our governance system for the first time in the history of our country. Madam Speaker, I want to thank these members of Parliament here, all of them. And we respect all of you. You debated. Finally, you came to a conclusion. That's the way it should be in a civilized society. Madam Speaker, through a mixed member system, by the way, some citizens are not aware, at local government, not just here, but at local government as well, we will see women, youth, and those with disabilities. This is great, and we should celebrate this. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for your leadership. The amended Constitution, Madam Speaker, it is interesting to know even those who didn't support Bill 7 are now in the forefront looking for new constituencies. Madam Speaker, I am following the Electoral Commission's grassroots work around this issue. And there is no corner of the country where they are not supporting these amendments. Delimitation is popular. So democracy works, Madam Speaker. At least we think ahead for all, not for a few. Madam Speaker, these reforms mean more support for our communities, more opportunities for women. What a great time to be of our age and to be active in our country. The youth of Zambia, those in our communities we think are less human than us. And they are all there in all our families, those with disabilities. Madam Speaker, I think I would write a special note to you to thank these members of Parliament. Madam Speaker, our administration remains firm on preserving freedom of assembly and association. There can be no development without peace, though. As we approach the 2026 general elections on 13th August 2026, we are committed to ensuring free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections. We should all remember, Madam Speaker, that democracy thrives on ideas, on persuasion, and respect for divergent views. We therefore implore all the political actors to commit to and promote peace, tolerance, and unity as we move towards elections. Let us always choose unity over division. Let us always choose dialogue and inclusion over conflict and insults. Let us choose progress over petty politicking. Madam Speaker, our stable and peaceful environment has so far attracted unprecedented levels of investment. In the last 4.5 years, Madam Speaker, as you will see just in the mining sector, we've attracted well over $12 billion in 4.5 years. This is dramatic and must be supported, which translates, Madam Speaker, to more jobs, to more businesses, opportunities, and others. Benefits, some are simple to see, others are embedded, and you may not see them. But we can see through as citizens, and we appreciate this. This is a great achievement, Madam Speaker, but we still have work ahead of us, a lot more work to do. Madam Speaker, access to information and media freedom remains fundamental to democratic governance in our country. Our administration has undertaken legal reforms to modernize the media landscape in our country. The government passed the Independent Broadcasting Authority Act number 26 of 2025 and the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Act number 26 of 2025. Yes, this is to promote independence, fairness, and accountability in broadcasting, while safeguarding press freedom and public interest. Madam Speaker, all freedoms must recognize public interest at all times. Personal must be embedded in broader public interest. Madam Speaker, human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination. Madam Speaker, since 2021, the UPND New Dawn administration has continued to advance human dignity, equity, social justice, equality, and non-discrimination as the central pillars of national development, not peripheral, but central. We have expanded community-driven investment and strengthened social protection like never before. We have empowered the youth and women. We have improved access to education, as I've said already, health, water, sanitation, and justice. The foundations of a loving and caring society are these issues we are discussing now. Madam Speaker, once more, our commitment is underscored by the substantial increase in the budgetary allocation, as I said already, to CDF. Numbers don't lie. From 1.6 million per constituency per year in 2021 to 30, to 25, to 30, to 36, and now to 40 million. Let me repeat, Madam Speaker. From 1.6 million to 40 million. And Madam Speaker, this is walking the talk. When we were in opposition, we were saying we'll increase CDF to be equivalent to $1 million. Where we are now, this is more than $2 million per constituency at today's exchange rate. This is it. More. Madam Speaker, I'm being enticed to... I stay with my program, but definitely, just hear me out a little bit. So, to crown it all, Madam Speaker, so people don't whisper and giggle, 1.6 million to 40 million in less than 5 years, and we are going to increase this again next year. Madam Speaker, we are going to increase this again next year. But hear me out, through God's will, courtesy of the people of Zambia, who would make this possible through the elections that are coming. We understand that the voters decide, but we do believe that voters will acknowledge this progress that has been made. The people of Zambia give us opportunity to serve them, and only they do that. When they give us this opportunity, we must use them effectively and not squander them. Take money to them, which they never had before. Through the CDF, Madam Speaker, we have empowered the youth, the women, and the vulnerable in our communities. We have provided bursaries to our learners attending secondary boarding schools. Parents don't have to sell chickens every January. The government, your government, Madam Speaker, has taken responsibility for raising our children. This is an emotional issue for some of us who came through from villages. And only because of education, we are here. It's an emotional issue. And it's a matter of responsibility to give to our children. Madam Speaker, secondary boarding schools across the country, and the decisions are made at the constituency level, not in Lusaka. This cannot be anything greater than this. And for skills development as well. Those that don't make it to colleges, this government is taking care of them through skills training, sponsoring them, and many now are molding bricks to help build schools, clinics, and other facilities. This is a great, great development for our country. Madam Speaker, just to reinforce, this is a giant step in the right direction. And we will not rest until every Zambian family feels the benefit of this generational change activity, if I may call it that. Madam Speaker, we are delivering for the people of Zambia from a place of love and deep care, not from any other angle. Let me be specific. The reason we deliver these things, because we love the people. We respect them for giving us an opportunity to serve them. We care for them. How do we show this? More health services are now within reach for our communities than ever before, with the provision of life-saving ambulances up to the constituency level. And the ambulances are getting to all the places across the country. Appropriate ambulances, life-saving. You look at what is contained in that ambulance, it's a small hospital. It's great. More of our mothers, especially in rural areas, can now deliver in appropriate maternity facilities, opportunities many of us never had. But it's our duty to give them to our aunties, our mothers, our nieces across the country. Madam Speaker, the policy of attaching a maternity wing at every health center is working. And these MPs are delivering. I want to thank them for that. Thank you. Madam Speaker, acceptable sanitation is a minimum, but also lighting. Solar allows us to do that now, and we should do it. These are priorities. I urge all people seated in this House that these are not matters you must say, I don't support. It's not supporting this government. It's supporting the people who elected you into government. Those are the beneficiaries, not this party or that party. Please, let's work together on this issue. We are picking revelations that in some constituencies, members of parliament are resisting these minimums. You are punishing your people, our people, and we will not allow you to do that. No. Thank you. More of our children are learning in decent classrooms now, which classrooms now have desks instead of kids sitting on the floor. Opposed to previous situations, commonplace situations, where kids will be sitting on a log. How can their attention span be anything longer than 10 minutes? Madam Speaker, more of our students are receiving bursaries, meal allowances, which were taken away. They are back. More of our health workers and teachers in urban and rural areas are providing critical services to our communities because we've employed more. More of our communities can now access clean, safe drinking water. More of our traders are conducting their business in modern market facilities. Madam Speaker, more of our small-scale livestock farmers can now access dipping facilities, vaccinations, and treatment drugs within their communities. Madam Speaker, more of our communities are becoming safer with construction of police posts and provision of police vehicles in each and every constituency, including Kantanshi. in Mafken. Madam Speaker, Mafken is Mufrila. Fellow citizens, we commit to continuing to deliver for each and every Zambian citizen because we love them. As I said, we care for them. We value them. Their welfare is our welfare. Madam Speaker, human dignity, equity, and social justice cannot be attained without social protection interventions. Not possible. We have expanded our social protection programs across the country. The social cash transfer value for vulnerable households, numbers don't lie, and beneficiaries has been doubled from 200 to 400 per month. For beneficiary households where there is a member with a disability, the value has increased from 400 to 600 per month. This year alone, we've increased the number of beneficiary households on social cash transfer from 1.3 million people to 1.5 million countrywide. Madam Speaker, this House has supported this measure, and we ask the House to continue supporting such measures going forward. Elections must not stop us from delivering for the people. We must continue delivering for the people of Zambia. Under the Food Security Pact, Madam Speaker, the number of vulnerable but viable farmers has increased from 240,000 to 320,000 beneficiaries. Tremendous. We have expanded the Cash for Work program. Madam Speaker, we have expanded the Cash for Work program to cover all the 116 districts across the country. Madam Speaker, this is from an initial number of 84 districts because, or essentially, this was targeted at those who were adversely affected by the worst drought in living memory, which we experienced. Now we said, let's extend it to all the 116 districts. So the members seated here, please make sure that these programs are taking place in your constituents, because there's work to be done. This is better than tantamen. People work, then they get paid. I think that's a culture shift that we need in our country. Madam Speaker, access to clean water and sanitation, as well as adequate I'll repeat it. Access to clean and safe water, as well as adequate sanitation, is fundamental to our citizens' health. Dignity, Madam Speaker, dignity. Just imagine from a pit latrine to a flush toilet. A young teacher, 25 years old, posted to Muyombe. And now she can go in a toilet and she can flush the toilet. Dignity. This is very important. This is important. Madam Speaker, it means that this young teacher will go to Muyombe and teach with happiness because her basics are met and she will remain attractive. That is important. And, Madam Speaker, government has implemented an array of interventions to expand access to safe water across the country. And I want to encourage members of this House. Water and sanitation is one of the central priorities in Syria. So is education, so is health. Please do not deviate from there, because we don't want one part of the country to be left behind. We don't want that. Let's not make a human decision to punish innocent community members. Through these interventions, Madam Speaker, over 4.9 million citizens have been provided with clean and safe water. This is a significant number, but we are not resting until every Zambian has access to clean water. Madam Speaker, the UPND New Dawn administration remains firmly committed to addressing economic and social barriers to children's participation and progression in education. Yes, there's free education, but there are some inherent issues that hinder kids from going back to school. In 2021, we reintroduced the free education policy, yes, But we still have other things to do, other interventions to do. As always, Madam Speaker, you know I will say it, that education remains the best investment, equalizer, and truly inheritance. Best investment, equalizer, and inheritance. We should all remember this issue. Many of us here without education will be in very difficult circumstances today. Many of us here, very difficult circumstances, including the Speaker. Madam Speaker, with the implementation of this policy, we can today, Madam Speaker, you should be proud of this. We can today announce that over 2.5 million children have been given the opportunity to go back to school. Last time we were talking about 2.3, now we are talking about 2.5. Please follow the numbers. This is gratifying, but we can still do more. We can push. There's a kid out there who is not yet back to school. Members of Parliament must look for these kids. Councillors, chairmen, mayors, let's all look for these kids in our communities. And Madam Speaker, with your strong leadership, let's remind these MPs to do that. Every now and then. They will save a life. They will bring a future president back to school. That is important. Madam Speaker, we've also scaled up support to vulnerable girls. These are the issues. Through Keeping Girls in School initiative. The program benefited 127,233 girls in 2025 from a small number of 38,551 in 2021. The geographical coverage has also increased to 95 districts from 39 in 2021. The agenda is to cover all the districts without exception. In addition, we have strengthened menstrual hygiene management among girls in school. The number of girls supported under this program, Madam Speaker, increased from 186,670 in 2021 to 1.7 million in 2025. This is really, again, an emotive subject. As a rural boy, I would see girls not sitting in class because of this problem. You all know that. Now you can see what this has done, this support has done to our girl child. You can stay in class, be competitive like any other child. That's our aspiration, Madam Speaker. Further, we've expanded the school feeding program, Madam Speaker. Hear me out, this House and the nation. We've expanded the school feeding program, very, very important program, from 1.5 million in 2021 to 4.7 million. These are all learners. These are not just numbers, Madam Speaker. These are human beings. These are our children in 2025. Because we love and care for our people, our children. Madam Speaker, it is gratifying that these interventions are contributing to improved school attendance. These are the outcomes now. Improved school attendance, retention, and learning outcomes among vulnerable learners, particularly those in rural areas and indeed peri-urban underserved communities. Very important, Madam Speaker. In 2025, we recorded, Madam Speaker, an impressive pass rate in public schools of over 70%, the first time in the history of our country. At a grade 12 level. This is the highest ever. Contrary to those who criticize the free education policy that it would dilute the quality. Numbers don't lie. Here you are. People complained about more high enrollment. Our response is to build more classrooms, to buy more desks. It's a responsible action. It's not to work against the policy. It's to say, how can we improve this policy? These are the results. Incredible. This was not an accident, Madam Speaker. It was a direct outcome of deep, broad and well-planned policy reforms. Long held, I must say. We pay tribute to all teachers, pupils, parents for this remarkable achievement. Thank you to all. You can have a learning, teaching environment, but if pupils, teachers, communities don't respond, the results will be less than what you could achieve. Madam Speaker, to promote human dignity and equity, the UPND New Dawn government prioritized investment in the health and wellness of our people. Since 2021, we have recruited over 18,000 health workers, with an additional 2,000 to be recruited this year. Further, we have continued to improve access to health services for our citizens through the construction, equipping of facilities at all levels, equipping these facilities with basic equipment, soft and hard. Not just people, but tools to work with at all levels across the country. Madam Speaker, these are intentional measures. These are deliberate measures. They are not opportunistic. They are intentional, they are deliberate, they are planned. Madam Speaker, to ensure dignity and social justice and non-discrimination in the employment and labor sector, government has undertaken important reforms, including a more transparent public procurement system. When we recruit for years, now you see adverts, database applications come. When we have not exhausted, because jobs are fewer than applicants, we maintain that database and use it in the next round. It's organized. We introduce new measures in the pension system to allow for partial withdrawal of pension benefits. Madam Speaker, this is an important issue. This is an important issue. For me, in my opposition days, I watched this issue. I said, there's a problem here. When we got the opportunity to serve the people, we went for it. We've gone for it. And it's now bearing fruit. You can see families investing now, long before they retire. That's important. As of January, Madam Speaker, as of January this year, 518,183 members of the National Pension Scheme Authority, NAPSA, had accessed their 20% partial withdrawal. Madam Speaker, in monetary terms, this is amounting to 10.6 billion kwacha, has gone to the owners long before they retire. They are completing their houses, they are putting water and sanitation, they are buying farming equipment to be productive. Madam Speaker, this is important, to make families self-reliant and not to wait until they are too tired to work to use their money. And this is optional, by the way, Madam Speaker. It's not mandatory, but you can see the uptake that is working for families, and it's long overdue. This is tremendous, and it's life-changing for our people. Madam Speaker, some criticize this policy and say it will bankrupt NAPSA. No. You need to understand money matters. You cannot bankrupt an institution. Some of the times money sits there in a latent form. It's better to give it to the owners. And the owners will do something of economic activity and create jobs and add to the growth of the economy. This is the flip side of those who argued against this. Very important. We have also extended pension coverage to the informal sector, which accounts for over 70% of our workforce. We have increased the minimum wage, Madam Speaker, and enhanced legislation on occupational safety and health in line with our decent work agenda. Minister of Labor. This has improved income security, enhanced financial resilience, and ensured broader social protection for our citizens. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, to facilitate speedy dispensation of justice, government has deployed resident High Court judges to all our 10 provinces. We have enhanced access to justice by expanding legal aid services to districts across the country. Further, we have completed, Madam Speaker, if an MP here doesn't see that in the community, all they need to do is to say so. We'll look into that matter. And I think it's important that we have feedback as we implement these programs. Madam Speaker, our administration remains focused on reducing overcrowding in our correctional facilities to safeguard the dignity of our inmates. They are human beings. You can ask me the question, how do I know? I know, because those were my apartments some years back. Madam Speaker, to promote equality and social justice among our youth, government has been focusing on economic inclusion and skills development, as I said earlier. Minister of Youth, yes. Yes, Elvis. We continue to implement important youth empowerment programs under the Youth Empowerment Fund, Citizens Economic Empowerment, CEC, and CDF, your CDF. Madam Speaker, the UPND New Dawn administration is focused on promoting equality, social justice, and non-discrimination in the provision of electricity to our people. We have successfully completed almost 60,000 new connections, even in great difficulty, with the decapitation of the generating capacity because of the drought. Through this Rural Electrification Authority program and many other interventions, including off-grid energy, that is how we are proceeding, Madam Speaker. Solar technology is transformatory, and we must uplift it, upload it, all of us. Further, government, Madam Speaker, has significantly reduced electricity connection fees for households in peri-urban and rural areas. The reduction is part of the accelerated, sustainable, and clean energy access transformation initiative. Thank you, Minister of Energy. Madam Speaker, that minister was complaining that, Mr. President, you are putting too much pressure on me. Now, with the developments that you see, I can see he looks happier these days. Madam Speaker, as part of our commitment to delivery, we have tackled the electricity challenges head on. We did not skate around. We acknowledged that we had a problem in electricity. We apologized to our people of Zambia. We told our people we were working on it. And you can see not going to basically toy in the streets, but talking to each other. This is the culture we want to see in this country. There's no solution in the streets. Solutions are in the rooms like this one, in boardrooms, on the ground, at solar power stations being constructed. As a nation, for decades, the energy sector has been neglected. And this is regrettable. On behalf of those who sat in the chair I sit today, I want to apologize for not having taken proactive measures. Together, all of us collectively. Zambia is basically an asset, a nation that is, yes, timeless, but also in continuity. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, we should all work together, Madam Speaker. This is not a joke. Please don't take this as a joke. We should all work together. Reforms have been put in place. Opportunities are there. And I want to thank the MP for Kaumbwe, who took the opportunity to do that. To support corrupt activities. Society must abhor corruption, stealing from the school children. And it's immoral even to support the people involved for whatever reason, it says, show me your friends, right? Then I will know, most likely, who you are. Let's walk away from supporting the corrupt. Let's work together to improve our corruption perception index. Some of the times the index is affected, because it's perception, by what we say on social media. Just go to police and report. Madam Speaker, we are determined to ensure that all those entrusted with the management of public affairs and resources act responsibly and operate in the interests of citizens. We will continue to address persistent structural, institutional, and capacity challenges to further enhance good governance and integrity. And on this score, we want to work with our partners, cooperating partners, that if you know better ways of fighting corruption, come forward and share this experience and we'll uptake it. Absolutely. As opposed to saying things that we hear. Come to the table. In short, it must be easier to do honest business and get the support you need from your government. I'll repeat this. In short, it must be easier to do honest business, such as electricity generation, such as the Gaumbwe MP is doing, and your government will support you. He led a team to China. An opposition leader leads a government team to China, looking for investments. And we support him, and we support any one of you. Please do that for the good of our country. Yeah. There are no shortcuts. Madam Speaker, let me repeat this. There are no shortcuts, no easy pickings. Life is not designed like that. Shortcuts, easy pickings, icona. No. No, Madam Speaker. We in this House must show leadership and must not promote shortcuts, easy pickings. No. Communities are watching us. Even the way we manage CDF, communities are watching us. And they see more than we see. Let us work together on this one. Sustainable development, Madam Speaker. We have positioned our country on a green growth trajectory. In the past 4 years, we have scaled up climate change adaptation, Madam Speaker, and mitigation efforts. We have upgraded all climate monitoring stations across the country, and we have enhanced national early warning systems. Vice President, thank you. Disaster management is able to come on board whenever we have a problem quickly. And our men and women in uniform are now working together to help remedy. A bridge is gone, Commander-in-Chief issues an instruction, they run and get bridges done. That's what society must be. We all do our part. Through these efforts, we have strengthened resilience in agriculture and other sectors, directly protecting our farmers and their families and national food security. Madam Speaker, deforestation remains a major challenge in our country. Our administration has therefore been promoting natural regeneration and tree planting programs, as well as the use of alternative sources of energy. I must admit, Madam Speaker, we still have a lot of work to do here. Alternative energy. When we say to our people, no charcoal burning, the next question is that what will be their source of energy? I think we need to work on that together. Our scientists, please, let's use the skills we have to find alternative energy. But also, let's benchmark which country is doing this better. That's the call. That's the call. We are all promoting, we should all be promoting sustainable utilization and protection of natural resources, such as the wildlife. We need our children to know what a buffalo is 50 years from now, and they can see it. Kudu, all of that. Bats, Kasanka. I'm sure those colleagues from there know what I'm talking about. And so these endowments can bring us a lot of money through tourism. See what countries with less endowments than us are doing and bringing in tourism. We need to do more together. Our rivers are important. Our wetlands are important. very, very important, a source of livelihoods. Furthermore, the number of hectares of forest, Madam Speaker, forest land placed under community care and management has more than doubled, from 4.1 million hectares in 2022 to 10.4 million in 2025. And involving communities is the way to go, so that the communities can provide the protection and the support. Madam Speaker, we call upon our traditional leaders and civic leaders, the church, civil society, and our communities overall to work with the government, their government. Madam Speaker, there are times people are here, people saying this government, that government. It's your government. You elected it. It's your government. Anyone who wants to aspire to lead this country, you must know, when you are in this chair, you care for everybody, because you are a product of society. You're elected by society. So let us work together in this way. And no corner of the country should say we are different. There's no one different here. We are the same. Interests are the same. Permanent interests of the nation are the same. Individual interests can shift, but permanent national interests are the same. They can only be better. So, Madam Speaker, the Keep Zambia Clean, Green and Health campaign remains key in driving behavioral change and promoting public health. We urge our citizens and all our public and private institutions to prioritize cleaning, just cleaning your house, your environment, painting your house, your plant, your factory, just get it painted. Clean, drainage around there. And if we all do that in our spaces, the nation will be cleaner. Madam Speaker, throwing litter on that set house lane, every week you clean. 2 days later, there's litter all over on that road. Throwing litter from cars, cans, plastic bags. And we're cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And if we all keep our plastic bags in the car, cans, when you reach home, collect them, put them in a bin, and they'll be taken away properly. This must be a national and, of course, personal responsibility. Madam Speaker, I'm not sure if you need to look at legislation around this issue. But compliance is the problem. Compliance is the problem. Local authorities, ministers of local government, we need to do more in this area. There's just a problem there. So let's work together, colleagues. We should respect the adage, prevention is better than cure. We keep our environment clean, surroundings clean, we'll be healthier. We'll be healthier. Madam Speaker, the increased investment in mining has come with its own challenges. I want to admit, it has brought new jobs and opportunities, yes, but we also have seen more or some negative impact on local communities and the environment. Our government is strengthening the regulatory framework to promote safe mining, secure, legal, structured, sustainable mining practices to avoid the needless loss of life. And all of us in this House must not misunderstand opportunity to mean risking lives of our children to go down there without properly planned mines, small, large, micro. There's no father or mother who sends their child in a pit knowing that they may not return. Then you're not a true mother or father. There's something wrong with you. So let's work together in this area. There's no need to lose lives as we seek income. We're also destroying the biodiversity, throwing mercury into our river systems. That cannot be allowed. We need the same water for irrigation. We need the same water for human consumption. So we shouldn't go the direction other countries have gone. We should not go there. Then that will be responsible. We must ensure that the extraction of our natural resources does not become a source of insecurity and instability in our country. Mufumwe Kikonge is one area where there was even a gun market there. Rival gun markets run by non-Zambians. We had to take the action we took. Conflict in countries around us started just like that. Madam Speaker, you always look for softer solutions. If people don't heed soft solutions, you use hard solutions. That's why these institutions are created. Yeah. And now Kikonge is having roads, having infrastructure going on there, ZCCM, and your own citizens will now be mining. I must say that resources belong to citizens. But citizens invite partners in a legal and structured manner. That is important. This House must take note of this. It's important. We don't want Sinda now to become a source of conflict area. We want a proper phosphate mine there. And for my colleague from Sinda, we've also negotiated that we'll process the phosphate in Sinda. And mark my words, we will have over 5,000 to 10,000 jobs in Sinda. It will be a different place from what you knew. But insecurity is not part of the menu. Madam Speaker, insecurity is not part of the menu. That is out. And we must work together here. Short-term interest can damage long-term prospects. Madam Speaker, sustainable development occurs when peace and hard work are rewarded by prosperity, not shortcuts. The Kwacha, Madam Speaker, has been one of the best performing currencies in the world, not in SADC or in Africa, but in the world. Numbers don't lie. Just click, you see the numbers will come out. Go to the internet. So we don't have to argue about these things, colleagues. Right? So, Minister of Finance, thank you very much. Thank you very much. But I've always told the Minister of Finance, he's only the keeper of things. These benefits are coming from mines, from agriculture, from tourism, from digital, from technology. That's where they're coming from. But recorded at finance. So we thank everybody, all of you, including this House, for passing progressive laws. Madam Speaker, inflation, which was standing at 23% not long ago, is now single digit, slightly ahead of schedule, based on the plans. Ahead of schedule. And this minister will tell you that if we don't loosen up in the next 30 or so days, maximum 40, 50, we will now achieve the range, the inflation range of 6 to 8%. This is dramatic. It has a huge impact on the cost of doing business. I'm sure you saw the Bank of Zambia lowering the monetary policy rate. For many of you, please don't worry about the word and tongue twisting. It simply means wholesale interest rate to commercial banks, and commercial banks now must lower the rates because they borrow at a lower rate. Very simple. And this has a positive impact on the overall economic situation. I've talked about three things, Madam Speaker: inflation, down; exchange rates, Kwacha, doing well; the third, triplet. These are triplets: inflation, exchange rate, interest rates should be coming down. Normally the triplets, amongst the triplets, interest rates comes last. So that's what's happening. It should come through. Madam Speaker, these are interesting times. These are not times we should waste. We should utilize this convergence positively. So, I must say, Madam Speaker, our economic fundamentals are getting better with a clear, what we call positive alignment. Let's utilize it, as I said earlier on. At the same time, we acknowledge that citizens are yet to feel the full benefits and that the cost of living should be stabilized further. But with this macro stability now firmly in place, Madam Speaker, the benefits will increasingly be felt by all citizens through a gradual but sustained easing of the cost of living. That's how it works. There's no other way, Madam Speaker. This is not an event, it's a process. You align things, work hard, align things, then benefits start coming through. As we work to increase wages on the other side of the coin, the flip side of the coin, costs coming down, wages going up, we will also work with the private sector to help further drive down the cost of doing business, and thereby stabilizing prices for the benefit of our people. No one else but our people, as always. We commend, Madam Speaker, the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, our friends in the private sector. This government took public office knowing that we alone in the public sector cannot make things work. We need partners in the private sector. We set up the Presidential Delivery Unit, Madam Speaker. We set up the Public-Private Dialogue Forum. Early on, we knew what we wanted to achieve, and this is where we are now. So we commend the Zambia Association of Manufacturers, ZAM, for responding to the positive economic fundamentals by lowering prices, and we urge other businesses to do the same. We notice that retailers in the compounds are not responding. Where they are ordering goods, the prices have come down. They too must respond by lowering the prices, those that have been lowered by the suppliers, the producers. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, national values and principles are embodiment of who we are as a people. Our national character and policy choices are firmly anchored on these values and principles. They are not isolated. They are the bedrock. They are the fundamental framework that we work within. As such, notwithstanding the tremendous progress we have made together, we have more work to do ahead. This House needs to know we're only beginning. We have a lot more work to do ahead of us. What we have done so far was the most difficult, such as what? Debt restructuring. Very complicated. Such as what? Macro stability. Fiscal consolidation. Right? What else? Getting to work on the exchange rate regime. And please, all of us, Madam Speaker, we are salesmen for our country. When we promote Zambia, we must know that Zambia has no exchange controls. I was at the mining endeavor 2 weeks ago, and I challenged the full House. I was giving the keynote speech. And at the end, I said, Zambia is ahead of others in the business operating environment. I said, I want one hand in this war where they live in a country where there are no exchange controls. On this continent, there was not a single hand. Let's sell this asset. Let's promote this country. All of us. Doesn't matter whether you are opposition, independent, or what. Country first. Country first. Madam Speaker. Yeah. Country first. Madam Speaker, I want to say again, notwithstanding the tremendous progress we have made, together, not us alone, but together, we have more work to do ahead of us. And let's not derail this trajectory because of personal interest, party interests, other isms. Let's work together. We all have a duty to turn our national values and principles into action from a place of love, deep care for our people, and the nation's well-being at all times. Madam Speaker, this year, on Thursday, 13th August 2026, this year, the country will be holding general elections. We ask every Zambian to rise to the highest standards of patriotism, integrity, and peaceful coexistence before, during, and after elections. As citizens, we must reject all forms of violence. All forms of violence. We must all say no to hate speech. No one should hide in a foreign country and push hate speech on our social platforms. Lies. Creating an environment which we are cleaning up for investment and making investors think that there is trouble in Zambia, there is fire all over. We are working on it. Slowly, we are working on it. Slowly, but sure. Slowly, but sure. Because our country's interest comes first. You can't have personal interest perched somewhere outside of our jurisdiction. You are sending falsehoods and allowing our children to consume hate messages. It is not right. We must all work together on this issue. And some of these colleagues are known to us. Let's just tell them, Tekanya first. Tekanya first. Madam Speaker, I'm only saying, slow down, let's be responsible. Let's be responsible. This country, our beloved country, is more important than anything. That's all we have, this country. That's all we have. So, as we ask every Zambian to rise to the high standard of patriotism, integrity, and peaceful coexistence before, during, and after elections, we are asking for personal commitment to this issue. Elections are a democratic process, but ultimately, we want the country to remain stable, secure, so we can focus on development. We may be unhappy about one or two things. Let's deal with those issues. Let's not destroy the country. As citizens, we must reject all forms of violence. We must all say no to hate speech. We all must abhor cyber crimes. We must reject divisive politics. Divisive politics. These vices have absolutely no place in our society. We therefore call upon all political actors, once again, all candidates and supporters of these candidates, the civil society, the church, the board of Christ, where we should all go for counseling. Our traditional leaders, my friends, the students, our friends, the students, the youth, our friends, the youth, our children, the media, all citizens, to demonstrate the highest level of restraint, respect, and responsibility as we head towards the polls. Madam Speaker, we call upon every citizen, Madam Speaker, to contribute towards the realization of greater national unity for development, unity for development. As we reiterate our commitment to delivery, to moving Zambia forward together, we have responsibilities. Yes. Yes. We call upon every citizen, Madam Speaker, to abide by our guiding principle. Once again, one Zambia, one nation, one people. I shall repeat that. One Zambia, one nation, one people. Madam Speaker, I want to say to your members, muimbe pesha yo. Muimbe pesha yo. I'm only saying, don't get me into be the one who... Madam Speaker, we love our people. We care about our people. And therefore we remain focused on delivery so that we can improve the well-being of the citizens of this country across the whole country. And I think we have demonstrated that. Madam Speaker, may the good Lord our God bless us all. May the good Lord our God bless us with a continued peace, security, stability for development, for prosperity. And may the good Lord, Madam Speaker, our God, bless our beautiful country, Zambia. Madam Speaker, I thank you for your kind attention. We can go. Thank you.
There you have it. That was the speech that has been delivered by Republican President Mr. Hakainde Hichilema on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. The Constitution under Article 8 outlines the national values and principles as morality and ethics, patriotism and national unity, democracy and constitutionalism, human dignity, equity, social justice, equality and non-discrimination, good governance and integrity, and sustainable development.
So there you have it on the screen. His Excellency the President just greeting the members of Parliament. And yes, indeed, that speech has been delivered on the floor of the House, to the House and to the nation. And of course, he actually outlined the national values and principles. So just to mention that a little later, we'll be just getting some reactions on what people think about the speech that has been delivered on the floor of the House. But of course, we did note that the President, before addressing the House, began by welcoming and congratulating the newly elected Member of Parliament for Chawama constituency, Honorable Bright Nundwe, following a by-election that was held on 15th January 2026, which passed without violence. So thank you very much for still being with Parliament TV as we endeavor to bring Parliament closer to you. Just to mention that once the President takes leave, we do expect business in the House to continue.
Absolutely. In his address, opening address, the President also did thank citizens across the country for making valuable submissions to the Mushawati Constitutional Technical Committee. The President did commend the House for successfully passing the bill, that's Bill 7. He did say that women, youths and persons with disabilities will be guaranteed representation at all levels of governance system for the first time in the country's history.
One of the things that he also talked about was that his administration actually remains firm on preserving freedom of assembly and association, saying that there can be no development without peace. There can be no development without peace, and based on this, he did say that his administration remains firm on preserving freedom of assembly and association.
And so the President almost taking leave, this time around interacting with the members of Parliament on the left side. And like earlier mentioned, immediately after this, business will resume, and then after that we'll get reactions from members of Parliament and some invited guests regarding the speech that has just been delivered by the President. And there you have it, the President conversing with the newly elected Member of Parliament for Chawama constituency, that's Mr. Bright Nundwe.
Yes, Mr. Brighton Nundwe there. Of course, these are moments that people want to remember. When I just went back to Parliament, the President, after his address, greeted me, a moment that I'm sure Mr. Nundwe will remember. And there we have it. Member of Parliament there, Mr. Chala, of course, just shaking hands with His Excellency, the President.
He always excites the Madam Speaker and members of Parliament regarding his dress code. He's always dressed in these, flamboyant, suits, and I'm sure his fellow members of Parliament were calling upon the President for him to just, shake his hand, and there he's also, shaking hands with
that was
the chair for
yes.
the popular, the famous local government accounts, committee, and giving, hugs to members of the opposition, a good gesture, which, signifies unity that he's always talked about, and that he talked about again in his speech. It doesn't matter which party you belong to. At the end of the day, we are all Zambians. It's one Zambia, one nation, and one people.
Yes, one Zambia, one nation, one people. So there, the President, we see almost taking a leave, just waving. I'm sure that's the last goodbye. Yeah, taking leave now, and as we said earlier on, we do expect business on the floor of the House to continue. And remember, today business on the floor of the House did commence at 09 hours, and the only thing that happened was when Madam Speaker called upon the leader of government business in the House, under the Vice President, to indicate the time at which the President would address the House. And that is the point that the leader of government business, the Vice President, it said that the President would address the House at 09:45 hours. And indeed, that happened. But of course, as per tradition, parliamentary tradition, when, a dignified guest or a very important person comes to Parliament, indeed, they make their way to the Speaker's chamber, just to catch a breath and, of course, sign in the visitor's book. So that did happen earlier on today. That was just before the President went into the chamber to address the House and the nation on the progress made in the application of national values and principles.
There's a lot of excitement among members of Parliament today, Muta. Hugs with the President.
Something that hasn't happened every day?
Not at all. And this time around, I think it's more than what usually happens. And so the President saying goodbye to Madam Speaker, and just about now, business will resume right here on Parliament Television. We'll urge you to stay tuned as we continue to bring Parliament closer to you. Good morning.
Somebody saying job will finish it. Business resumes. Her Honor, the Vice President.
Madam Speaker, I beg to move that at its rising today, the House adjourns until Tuesday, 24th February 2026.
For the honorable members, the question is that at its rising today, the House adjourns until Tuesday, 24th February 2026. Any debate? Her Honor, the Vice President.
Madam, on behalf of the House, and indeed on my own behalf, I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, for the speech that he has just delivered on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. Madam Speaker, I have no doubt that the House will agree with me that the President has raised a number of important issues that require serious and careful analysis by all of us. Consequently, I am of the view that the House should rise now so that honorable members have ample time to study and analyze the speech and reflect on the important issues that the President has raised before they debate the speech. This will enable honorable members to make meaningful contributions during the debate of the motion of thanks to the President's address starting on Tuesday, 24th February 2026. Madam, this is a procedural motion. I therefore request all honorable members to support it. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Any further debate? The Honorable Member for Chikankata.
Madam Speaker, allow me to put on record my sincere gratitude for the opportunity accorded to me to support the motion moved by Her Honor the Vice President on the occasion of the special address to Parliament by the President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, on the progress made in the application of national values and principles. Madam Speaker, I fully support the motion by Her Honor the Vice President that the House adjourns now, in order to accord honorable members ample time to digest and critically analyze the speech, so that when we come back to the House next week, we will be fully prepared to debate the motion of thanks to the President's address. Madam Speaker, I thank you.
Thank you very much. Her Honor the Vice President, winding up debate.
Madam Speaker, I am very grateful to the House for its unanimous support to this motion. I thank you, Madam.
Order. I put